New FBI data shows a nearly 12% jump in reported hate crimes in 2021. Almost 65% of the victims were targeted because of their race or ethnicity. This news comes as the Stop Asian Hate movement enters its third year. Hate crimes against the Asian community have once again risen. So joining me now are three guests. We're going to talk a little bit about this. Of course, everybody knows Shay, our race and culture contributor, Joey Ha, Vice Chair of Colorado Asian Pacific United, and Deborah Yim of the Asian Pacific American Bar Association. Now, we're going to talk about this in light of all this hate. Yeah. We briefly mentioned we're hoping these numbers have changed a little bit because it takes a while to catch up, but we never know. And we're talking about allyship as we head into aapi-heritage Month. So Deborah, the first question is, can you share any of your insights? When we hear these numbers, it's pretty disturbing when you think about hate crimes against Asian Americans.
I think it's staggering. The numbers have risen by more than 176%. And the FBI data shows that actually hate crimes against Asian Americans have risen the most out of any ethnic group. And that is just really shocking data. But I think a lot of it comes from the fact that we have a lot of racist rhetoric and scapegoating against Asian Americans in the community. That started with COVID. It started with the anti-Asian hate that's gone on. And I think that's something that we need to recognize and stand up against.
Yeah, and as we look at this, we also talk about the work that's being done. And Joey, we're going to ask you about, you do a lot of work to combat hate and educate people in the community. And how can people get involved? How can they find out a little bit more?
Yeah, I think sometimes when people think about allyship, they think it has to be these huge endeavors that you have to take a lot of time out of your day to do, but it can start with something simple, like supporting your local Asian American or Pacific Islander restaurant. It can look like donating some extra money that you might have to some of these organizations and causes. So there's not a huge barrier of entry, right, to be an ally. It also looks like educating yourself. You know, what is the Asian American Pacific Islander experience? What is that history? Because for basically all of our American history, we don't really learn much about Asian American Pacific Islanders. I never got that opportunity in school. So the onus is on the individual, right, to look up this information, to discover and learn how Asian American and Pacific Islanders have been here, how they have contributed to the building of this nation, and how they are still here and still contributing members of our society.
And we have a great history in Colorado. So like you can really hyper-focus on the Asian American experience in Colorado too. Shay, let's talk about allyship and why we need to cross-community get involved.
I mean, I think first of all, this was so important when former President Barack Obama made API a national month, you know, right in 2009. It was important that I know, being from a community of color, that we don't have divisiveness. So this is a time more now than ever to come together and say, how can I support? And like you said, it doesn't have to be these huge things, right? How do we come to one another's events? How do we support one another and having these conversations and talking about the little microaggressions that happen because they're real and they're significant? And so we have to do the work every day to make an intentional effort.
Yeah, you have talked to us so much about great artists and great performers and going into a market and learning about culture and learning about special days.
Yes.
And
And it's that type of time now. And I know I love how they did in the AAPI community. You guys have came together with over 20 organizations to say, these are our events, so they don't cross paths, right? These are events, this is our event calendar. Can you share how people can go to that link and see what's going on so they can actually be a part of your event?
There's a link, right?
Yes. Yeah, so we're very excited. Heritage Month is coming up. We said May, in just a couple days, and we have over 25 organizations that are putting on Heritage Month events. Things like our night market, Asian night market, cultural food and music programs. We have a community self-defense workshop. We have API soccer night. We have a zoo night for kids. So we encourage everybody to come out and check out the link for more information, which is tinyurl.com/Colorado-APA-May.
Thank you for your time.
Yes,
we know people are going to check it out. Enjoy it in May. Expand your horizons.
There we go. Expand your horizons in May. I love that, Kim.
I like it. It's a new season. All right.
There we go.
Thanks very much. We'll be right back.